Hey Cinderellas, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for tuning in each and every week as I bring you really great, new, easy to digest content here at the Cinderella Brides channel. Today we're going to talk about how to bake your face. And this is a technique, it's not a technique that's like a brand new technique. It's been around for like ages. Makeup artists, makeup gurus that have done stage makeup or fashion or print or editorial have used this technique for a really, really long time. And it's a technique that even myself with my bridal clients, when I do makeup, I use it on my brides. So I'm going to show you how to do this. If you want to create a gorgeous, flawless, seamless type of look for your skin and your face, you want to, maybe you're someone that has like creasing underneath the eyes, baking is a really, really great way to prevent some of that and just create like a really, really nice, flawless skin. I love baking. So let's get started. I already have foundation on my face and I've used already some concealer. I use the NARS Ginger Concealer, so that's already on. And what I'm gonna do is I wanna just amp up, I wanna brighten up first the under eyes, and that's the part of my face that I'm going to be baking with. So I'm gonna use the Tarte Light Medium. I love this because it doesn't crease. If you put it on and you kind of like really set it well, it does not crease, it does not move, and it adds a really, really nice brightness. So I'm gonna basically take the wand and I'm gonna dot underneath my eyes, like exactly where I want to add a little bit more brightness. Okay, maybe down the tip of my nose. I'm gonna add it to my forehead too. And then I'm gonna also, this is something I do, I like to pop out like the cheekbone area as well and kind of do almost like a reverse contour. So I'm gonna show you like right underneath my cheekbone area is where I'm gonna highlight a little bit, and down here as well. Because I haven't actually did any contouring or highlighting to my face. This is gonna be the way that I highlight naturally, and I'm gonna contour later. I'll show you with like my bronzing powder. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take a sponge, and you guys can use any sponge. I like this is the Real Technique sponge, and I'm just basically gonna press this into my face. You can already see like it immediately brightens up my under eyes. And even just highlighting underneath there, you can already see it kind of just popped up my cheekbone a little bit. I'm gonna do a little bit on my chin, blend it into my nose. And you'll notice that the technique that I'm using is pressing and patting. And that's what you wanna do. You don't wanna swipe, you don't wanna move this product all over the place, because then it really defeats the purpose of highlighting and, you know, highlighting your important areas to brighten them up. It'll just look muddy. It'll look like a mess. Same thing here. Here I'm just gonna almost like creating like a line, but not just underneath my cheekbones, which later I'm gonna show you is where I am going to contour. Okay, so concealer is on and it's pressed. It's not cakey, it's not liney. It's funny because people talk about how to bake. We're gonna do the cakeless way of baking. You're not gonna look cakey. That's the whole point. Most of the times my brides, my clients, they wanna look natural. Even for myself, although I love a full glam makeup look, I really wanna look natural. Okay, what I'm gonna use is I'm gonna use the Huda Beauty Banana Bread. I love this powder. It's really great for like medium skin tones. Even if you're a little bit darker, you can kind of get away with it, but there's that like powder right there. I'm gonna take my sponge and I'm gonna dip into it. And what I'm gonna use is, I'm gonna use like the pointier end of the sponge, and I'm gonna place the powder right underneath my eyes. Oh, it smells so nice. And I'm also gonna go a little bit down the bridge of my nose and all the way up here. And that's like the whole area where I want to kind of like highlight and just bring forward, okay? Highlighting is the technique of highlighting is to make those areas pop out. And a lot of the times when we have like darkness underneath the eyes, we tend to look more tired. So when you highlight and you bake underneath the eyes, it really does a really nice job of just making you have that like wide awake type of face. Now, I'm gonna put enough powder, but I'm gonna show you later how we're gonna get rid of this and make it look really, really, you may feel like, oh my God, is that too much powder? But that's kind of really what the whole process, the technique is about. What it's doing, you're putting enough powder that the temperature of your skin is gonna start to like absorb the necessary powder that it needs to like set and keep the makeup in place. And then the rest is just, you're gonna dust it right off. You're gonna brush it right off. I also like to just, right where I highlighted, I like to put a little bit of powder right underneath my cheekbone. Same thing here. Look a little crazy. Trust me, it won't look like that after a few minutes, once I wipe it all off. I'm gonna put some in the center, also down the bridge of my nose. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this bake for about 5 minutes. So I'll be back. So it's been about 5 minutes and I think I'm ready to take this powder off, and I'm gonna be using, I love this brush because it's kind of like thin and it kind of gets right underneath the eyes. It's the Sigma F35 brush. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take a little bit of powder on the brush and I'm gonna use that to like dust the excess off and kind of like really blend it in. It helps to kind of take off the extra powder and place whatever is maybe like a missing gap. So just dusting that powder off underneath the eyes in an upward motion. You can kind of see it's already, like whatever my skin warmed up to, it baked and it kind of absorbed the excess powder. I'm gonna do the same thing here on the cheeks, underneath the cheekbone, down the bridge of my nose, on my chin. You can immediately see, look at that beautiful glow. This is something you can do on a daily basis if you are like, you know, putting a good amount of makeup on, for depending on the type of work you do. But I just love this technique because it really, really sets the makeup really, really nicely. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take whatever the excess is on my brush and just kind of brush it all around the face, just to kind of set anything else that was not set before. Okay, so now that that's done, I am going to bronze my face a little bit. And I'm gonna use, you could use any brush that you have at home. I love this brush for bronzer, but I'm gonna use the Give Me Sun bronzer from MAC. This is kind of like the color, what it looks like. I love this because it's just very light. You can build it up to something a little bit warmer, but you can kind of see already, because I baked underneath here, you can kind of see the distinction of like my cheekbones already popping up a little bit higher, and I didn't even do that much. So now you can see that I'm contouring the cheeks. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and do the contouring, you know, at the top of my forehead, anywhere where like sun naturally hits, where you're gonna put your bronzer. Okay, remember the whole purpose of highlighting is to bring forward and pop out, and the whole purpose of contour is to recede and kind of like, so you can see one side of my face already is starting to, you know, have that like more of a lift, and like this is receding in and giving me more of a higher cheekbone compared to the other side. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side now. If you don't know where your cheekbones are, what you can do is you can kind of just take your like index finger and just like feel right underneath where your cheekbone is. You can even smile, and that's like right underneath your cheekbone is where you want to contour. You want to almost think of like when you're contouring, you're creating like an invisible E. There's the middle of the E right here, and then this is your top of your E, like right across the forehead and to the side. So there's your one, it's an E, and then right down here is the bottom of your E. And another tip I have is when you are contouring, you can start with like more of your color in the back of your face versus the front, because that's kind of like where it's a little bit naturally darker anyway. and it will look a little bit more natural also. So now, what I like to do is, in between this whole process, I like to take a clean brush. You can also even add a little bit of powder to your brush if you want. And I just like to just dust off the excess powder and really like gently, I just like to like buff everything out so it looks really smooth, natural, not harsh, not a lot of lines. And don't worry if you feel like you're looking powdery or cakey. We're gonna use a ton of setting spray at the end, which I love. I even use setting spray on my face before I started my foundation. I just love to create like a little bit more of a dewy, more natural look, and the setting spray will definitely take down a lot of the powderiness that you're seeing. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some blush, and I've been loving this cheeky blusher from Artistry. It's like a pink corally color, and I'm just gonna basically open it up, and just this little brush is really pretty because it just allows me to like dot it right on my cheekbones and place it exactly where I want it. I think that's all I want. Same thing on this side. Okay, and I do like to use my Sigma. I don't even know, I've used this so many times. It's an angled powder brush. It is from Sigma. I like to just take the brush and blend out or soften up the blush a little bit more so it doesn't look too heavy. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is my highlighter, and I'm gonna use the Morphe R31 brush. I'm gonna use this Anastasia. This is like, you guys know if you've been watching my tutorials, I love this highlighter. I have a ton of highlighter, don't get me wrong, but I just love the way this looks. And this is also gonna really balance out like the cakiness or the idea of having too much powder on. This really counteracts it, and it just makes it look so much more natural. Don't be afraid to use your fingers if you need to blend. They are your best blending tools. I'm gonna do a little bit of highlighter down the bridge of my nose. Another thing, I like to go back in with my powder brush and again, just kind of buff that into the skin. For me, it's all about blending, and ladies, your makeup shouldn't look like it's sitting on your face. It should really look like it's seamlessly like just part of your skin. Your skin is glowing because of it. Okay, so, and we're up to the last step, which is setting spray. And I love this setting spray. It's the Dewy Set from Anastasia. And I'm gonna go in and just set my entire face with this, but it's dewy, so it's gonna give a really nice, oh, it smells so good. It's gonna give a really nice like sheen to your face. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Oh, it feels amazing. All right. And once that dries, you're gonna get to see this face is just gonna look even more natural, even more seamless, even more flawless. And I totally recommend learning the technique of baking your face because it's just gonna give you that flawless, natural, just gorgeous look. Your under eyes won't crease. Like it's a really nice technique for anybody who wants to walk out the door just looking more natural. So I hope that helped. If you enjoyed this video, please share it with someone you think might benefit from the information I shared with you guys today. And make sure you subscribe and you turn your notification bell on so anytime I upload a new video, you'll be able to see it. And like and comment, ask any questions. If there's other things that you want to see that I haven't shared on my channel yet, please make the suggestions in the comment box below. That's kind of oftentimes how I get more ideas for new videos, new content that you guys want to learn or you want to see. And as always, Cinderellas, be blessed. Love you guys. Bye.